if you can explain what makes the Swedes happy in 3 words to any Macedonian or to any foreigner who is surprised by the ranking of the Nordic countries, what would that be?
Like any new ambassador, I spent my first weeks here trying to meet as many people as possible, trying to learn as much as I can about the country, about the city, about its politics, its history, its challenges and opportunities.
What is the impression that you have about Macedonia and the people living here? Do we look like unhappy? Do we look like
no, not at
cautious
all.
Optimists? Very happy?
Not at all, not at all. It's a great country. We really like it here. My family and I have landed extremely well here in Vodno, where I live, in Skopje, in North Macedonia. I've had great support from my fantastic team at the embassy and here at the residence. And all the people have been extremely kind. So we feel just at home. My kids have found good friends in school and everything. So yes, to me it's a happy country, and my existence so far here in Skopje as a Swedish ambassador has been a very happy one. So thank you to all of you, if somebody's watching this. If you are one of the people who have contributed to make my existence here very happy, thank you. Looking forward to meet again.
Can you share some secrets about the secret ingredients of happiness for the Swedish people, as your country is always ranked every year among top 5 on the happiness report.
Yeah.
And also it might sound strange to some people seeing all the Nordic countries ranked so high. Probably we are thinking about there's something that we don't know about. Is there something like that?
Well, I mean, first of all, I want to say the Nordic country, we're rather similar in many ways. We can speak more about that later. So it's not so strange that we find ourselves on the same area in various rankings. But another thing that we as Nordics have in common is that we're a very competitive bunch. So if there is a competition, if there's a ranking, we're often in it to win. So I'm happy that Sweden continuously performs rather well. Now, North Macedonia is not an enormous country, neither is Sweden. There are 10 million Swedes, more or less. And the answer to what makes each of them, or each of us, happy is very individual, of course. If you ask me to say in 3 or 4 words what makes me happy,
what would that be?
I would say Veronica, Elias, Maya and Emil. Now that's my wife and my children. And I think that kind of answer you will get for many people. Who are the people that make you happy? What makes you happy? To me, it's my family and my children. If you look a bit broader, what makes the country perform relatively well at these various rankings, I think you can sum it up in a set of baskets. One basket would be democracy, a foundation of a well-established country with strong traditions of democracy, rule of law, and gender equality, functional institutions, well-established, a strong tradition of rule of law, equality before the right, gender equality, the world's oldest freedom of speech legislation, one of the most far-reaching freedom of information acts in the world. Those, I think, contribute to a sense of stability and a sense of trust in the institutions, that the system works. One of the most admired institutions in the Swedish system is our tax authority, because it works. People pay tax and they know that they get something back. The second basket I would point to, so democracy. The second one I would say sustainability. Sustainability in 2 ways, and a care for the natural environment. All the Nordic countries, including Sweden, have a deep relationship with the natural environment. We care about our forests, lakes, mountains and valleys and oceans. For 2 reasons. First of all, we enjoy having clean drinking water, a clean Baltic Sea to swim in with our children, clean forest to walk around with and so on. So that's one thing, that we benefit from a clean environment. But it's also something that we like to go out to. We like to ski, we like to hike, we like to swim, we like to spend time in our summer houses.
But not just to use the nature, you have to give it back, you have to take care of it.
Exactly.
This is something that we really need to learn from you.
Perhaps something there, but that's also something that you build up over generations. So maybe the first basket, democracy, second one, sustainability, and I would say the third one is creativity. Sweden has the largest or the highest numbers of patents per capita in the world. Sweden is the home of, or has been for not only decades but centuries, for entrepreneurs, engineers, businessmen who have started companies that have grown in Sweden and then expanded. I mean, you have the old giants like Ericsson and Volvo and so on.
Yeah.
Later in the 20th century, H&M, IKEA, and now more recently, I mean, we spoke about that a little bit before, Spotify, Klarna, Minecraft, Skype is partly Swedish as well. So all those companies are now world leaders in what they do. So that sense of creativity, dynamism.
Supporting the creativity.
Yes, exactly. No, exactly. And then also,
The brave ideas and thinking outside of the box, being able to recognize that this idea.
If you look at popular culture, for example, I mean, Sweden is also the home of ABBA, Spotify, and a guy called Max Martin, who is the most successful music producer of all time. And I mean, Taylor Swift, we spoke about her this morning as well. I mean, she just released her album, but that's made in Sweden. Why? Because we are good at pop music. We're good at popular culture in general. So I think in that basket of innovation and creativity, there is this sense of dynamism, innovation, and kind of what's next? What's next? What's the next biggest thing? How can we improve? How can we build? How can we become better? I think these things together, democracy, sustainability, and creativity, that's somewhere three themes that I think many Swedes would identify themselves with, but I think also contribute to putting Sweden consistently high up on these happiness index.
If you ask a typical Macedonian whether we are happy, they would say, of course we are happy. Why not? We are enjoying music. We have a tight community. We have a very strong family relations. We like our friends, and also we have 300 sunny days.
Yeah.
We are enjoying a good weather here.
Not so bad.
And still, on the happiness report, we are ranked quite low. I would say on the second half on the chart. But I'm sure that if we are always seeing, as we mentioned before, it's whether you see the glass half full or half empty. Maybe Macedonians, we like to find the negativity in everything, but then we are doing that while we are enjoying the perks of good life and the good climate and everything that we have in this country.
But first of all, I agree. This is a great country, and we really like living here, my family and I. Maybe there's something to the mindset that you said. I mean, this glass, is it half full or half empty? It's a matter of definition.
I would say we can fill it up a little bit more.
We can fill it up a little bit more, but to philosophize about how it's empty, would it be nice, blah blah blah, etc. Like that doesn't lead anywhere. I think maybe one quality that Swedes have, or many Swedes have, is to say, okay, the glass might not be completely full. It could be fuller, and perhaps it could be orange juice. But let's not talk so much about that. Let's move on and fill it up. Let's make some orange juice, or let's get some wine or something like this. Swedes are quite good at looking forward to see, okay, what's next? What do we do about it? What do we do about that? We're also, I mean, now it sounds like we are optimistic, happy rabbits. Really not. Swedes also like to complain a little bit every once in a while, and especially when the winter sets in, it's cold and dark, and so on. But then we light the candle, we take out the cinnamon buns.
And you do fika.
We do fika, exactly. So that's one way to keep us happy.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah. No, but fika...
the tradition of fika.
Fika is what we're doing right now.
Yes.
No, it always involves sitting down. You can't stand up and fika, so you sit down. You drink something.
So basically taking our time. We are not in a rush. If we are standing up, then it's like we are almost.
Then it's not fika anymore. Then it's I mean, I love a short espresso on the way to work, I take one on the way to my work at the Ambasador. That's not fika. Fika means sitting down, taking some time off. You drink something, often coffee, but it could also be tea, whatever you like, and you eat something, often something sweet, and stereotypically and commonly. Cinnamon buns, which we have right here. So that will be a typical Swedish fika here. And then you talk about something that is not work. If you talk about work over coffee and bun, then it's a meeting. Fika is leveling out with your colleague or your friend or your partner and saying where we're at. How are you?
So politics is out.
No, you can talk about politics as well, but it means taking a step away and maybe leveling with the person that you're talking to. At work, fika is essential because that means that we're very busy with our emails and our meetings and our stressful processes and so on, which can create stress and anger or concerns. But then you sit down a little bit, you talk to your colleagues, you get to know them a little bit, you discuss, hey, who made these buns? These are great. Okay, how about you? What are you doing this weekend? Oh, okay. How are your kids? How are your family? You get to know people a little bit on a level. It means taking a break from the
daily
hamster wheel and so on. The Danes have a similar concept called hygge. Those things are related, I would say. It's a sense of coziness, sense of informality, sense of leveling it out, and
taking a break,
grounding in yourself and with your colleagues or friends.
I know. I can imagine what most of the people from Macedonia living in Macedonia would think about now that they would listen to us. They would say it's easy to speak like this if you live in Sweden, if you are from Sweden, or if you earn as a Swede. Do you think that something might change if the country is not as wealthy or socially democratic stable as it is, financially stable as it is, if you live on a GDP like a typical Macedonian?
Well, that's a very good question and very hard to answer. But I mean, one thing to keep in mind, Sweden was not always a rich country. If you go back 150 years, Sweden was a poor. We're still at the outskirts or periphery of continental Europe, of course, but it was a poor country that people emigrated from. 10th of the Swedish population emigrated in the late 1800s. Many of them went to America, to Minnesota and Michigan, New Jersey, and so on.
The biggest communities.
Yes. No, they went there because they felt at home with the snow and so on, maybe. It was a country that people were leaving because they didn't see a future then. Then over decades, over the past 150 years, Sweden developed into one of the richest countries in the world with a very high living standard and so on, a very comprehensive social welfare system and so on. But this is relatively, historically speaking, recent. Now, what would happen if there would be an economic collapse influencing, hypothetically, only Sweden and not our neighbors in the Nordic region or something? That would be something that would happen only to Sweden. I think that would have an impact on overall happiness. If you don't know where your next salary is coming from, how are you going to support your family? How are you going to pay for your children's winter shoes? Yes, that will create concern and worries and unhappiness, I would imagine that. But what it would not change, I think, is the Swedish instinct for creativity, innovation, and kind of the forward-looking, what's next attitude that Sweden have.
Yes.
That I think would remain, and that makes me confident that if an event would befall Sweden or development, that would turn life more challenging. I think there's also a way the Swedish spirit could overcome that too. So like we have many times before.
All the analysis and statistics are showing that this generation is facing a huge level of loneliness. So as a country that is putting a lot of emphasizing the individuality and basically encouraging people to show their personality, and then they're facing with loneliness, how can they rank on the chart of happiness?
So these are great questions, and it forces myself to think a little bit. One thing is, I think we spoke about democracy, sustainability, and creativity. I would like to throw in another word that I think is a key to the relative success of Nordic countries in these kind of rankings. That is balance. The balance, the equilibrium between individual freedom, going on your own, starting companies, make it on your own, traveling around the world, developing yourself, and so on, while at the same time, community, relationship, family, tradition. That balance, and to get that right, I think is essential for happiness everywhere. And perhaps that balance is more towards individualism a little bit in Sweden, and maybe more towards community and context here in Skopje. I'm just speculating, but that may be one thing. We're living in a time when young people these days have access to everything, all information, constantly around the clock, and can communicate with anybody around the world, all the time. Yet at the same time, that could not necessarily, that can also maybe even reinforce a sense of loneliness. I think that's a global thing. I don't think that's something that only Sweden
So
faces.
far, what we can conclude is we want the same things. We are aspiring towards the same things, and the same things make us happy. This is the family, our friends, our community, having a Turkish coffee or having fika. But also we are fearing the same things as the loneliness, as the need to be the best of yourself, as competing to the whole world, not just with your community. And yet, if I can make a parallel between the Nordic and the Balkan countries, you're here and we're here.
Yes.
And it's not just one country. It's not just Finland on top, but it's all of the Nordic countries. Sweden, Denmark, Norway, Iceland. Did I miss someone?
No, that was it in total, including Sweden. But yes, that was implicit. Yes.
And you're always on top 10, and we are always the Balkan countries, like in the second half. Is there anything that we can learn from you that you can share? Like, do you share secrets with your neighbors? Is it a state of mind? Is it the way you were learning, your education, the system that you live in that makes people be content, not just happy, let's say satisfied with what they have? And here in the Balkans, we always have this feeling like we lack something, like our society and our countries are on the verge of changes, and we will always like to have our cup a little bit more fuller.
No, the great question again. The Swedish relationship to the Nordic countries, not only neighbors on the map, but siblings in society or in history. We can identify lots of things that sets one Nordic country apart, or several, or where things are different. Iceland is an island, rather far away from continental Europe, with a separate history, of course, and a smaller population. Norway and Sweden has huge mountains. Denmark does not, but it's beautiful anyways. Norway and Iceland and Denmark were members of NATO for a long time. Sweden and Finland just joined very recently. Sweden, Denmark and Finland, so members of the European Union. Norway and Iceland are not. We are differently good at football and ice hockey. We have slightly different traditions and slightly food. And whereas all the other Scandinavian languages are very similar, Finnish is a completely different ballgame. Now, these are things that set us apart, but that's like with siblings. Yes, you find differently, some like that artist or something like that, but essentially, when we face the world, we are very, very similar. We have so much in common. So the things that I've been saying now about Sweden, many of those things I would imagine you would also get if you would interview an ambassador from any of the other Nordic countries. We interact a lot. These are our closest partners. Again, not on the map, but in practice as well. Our institutions work very closely together. We take inspiration from each other a lot. Cultural phenomena tends to go in parallel in our various countries. When one country is pulling ahead in some area, like Denmark with the film, I remember when I was younger, we were all inspiring by that, and then maybe
they have a great cinematography.
Oh, absolutely. But we inspire each other, and we take inspiration from each other.
But you also like to compete between.
But we do like to compete. Yeah, that was what I was saying. So as a Swedish ambassador, it bothers me tremendously, as you can imagine, to see Finland on top of this list.
Yeah.
Now, in ice hockey, I can accept that. In football, I could not. But in happiness, I mean, a little bit going forward, game on Finland, because 4th place in the world ranking.
Yeah.
As you said, for Sweden, that's pretty good. But Finland, so we need to.
It's a great motivation.
It is.
When I was in Sweden, I bought a book at the airport that was called The Almost Nearly Perfect People. And it was about the 5 Nordic countries.
Yes.
Do you consider yourself as almost nearly perfect people?
Not at all, and not personally, and not as a country either. We have our challenges, but I think what makes us relatively successful in these rankings is the desire maybe towards, if not perfection, but improvement. Swedes are engineers, entrepreneurs, we're designers, we're builders. This is some great Swedish design sitting around us right now, by the way. We want to improve things all the time, and I think that does never make us perfect, ever. That journey goes on social engineering or physical engineering, furniture making, music making, but we always want to make things a little bit better all the time. That keeps us busy. We work hard. That also keeps us directed somewhere. But I think maybe that ambition or that instinct, that the glass is half full, you can celebrate that, or you can say, hey, let's fill it up. Or
I
let's
have an idea.
I have an idea.
Yeah.
It takes you forward. I think that keeps you, that contributes to creating a society that works relatively well, but it also helps you to create a future and a vision and some sort of hope and trust on that the future might be better than today. Thanks.
This is a great point for the end. Mr. Ambassador, thank you very much for your time, and let's enjoy fika.
Voilà, thank you.